hopefully here we can give you some tips on how to protect yourself, your family, your loved ones, and your children to prevent them from being victimized by these scammers. The biggest thing we say is don't be afraid to say no. Don't just say yes, don't just believe who they're pretending to be. Okay, so don't be intimidated by these high pressure sales tactics. If a telemarketer is trying to get you to buy something, they want money sent right away. They want you to act in that moment without thinking about it, without maybe conversing with your spouse, with your parents if you're a child. Don't just act sending money, agreeing to something. That opens that door into fraud. 100% do not give out your personal information. So beware of the unsolicited calls or texts that are asking for personal information, your name, your birth date, your address, your social insurance, or credit banking information. If you didn't initiate the call to these companies, you don't know who you're talking to on the phone. You need to protect yourself from spoofing. Never assume that the phone numbers appearing on your call display are accurate. Hang up, as I said earlier, contact your financial institution, your service provider, or call your local law enforcement or government agency directly at the number that's on their website, in the phone book, or on the directory. Never just click on these links that you receive via text, email, research, contact the correct one. When visiting a website, always verify the URL and the domain. Make sure it's the official website you're accessing. Bottom line is just you need to be suspicious. Most frauds require the victim to assist them in that crime, whether it's willingly provide their information, their credit card, their bank information, give them access remotely to the computer, or giving the suspect money. The best way we can help prevent this is education. It's educating yourself, speaking to your friends, speaking to your family, monitoring if you have an elderly parent that lives in the home with you, or young children, monitor what they're doing on their device. Have them that open line of information back and forth that they can come to you and say, I don't know, I got this weird text, Mom, this weird text, Dad, what do you think? Make sure that they're willing and comfortable to come speak to you on some of these frauds. And just reiterate to them that this happens. People can pretend to be somebody they're not. They can pretend to be from a company that isn't real or they don't work for. They can make the phone numbers, they can make the email addresses look as though they're official. So just driving home that point that you can't just believe what you see. Monitor with your kids, monitor with your elderly parents. Big piece, big takeaway when it comes to any fraud, both the London Police and the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre want all of our citizens to remember the 3 R's, which is recognize, reject, and report. So recognize that this is a fraud, reject it, don't fall victim for that fraud, and then report it, whether it's to the police, to an agency. That's paramount. If we don't know these frauds are happening, it's tough for us to combat them. At the end of the day, we need to ask ourselves these questions. Is the price too good? It probably is. Is the price too low? Is that offer too high? So at the end of the day, remember what a fraud is. It's a theft with a lie.
There is a fascinating tips and tools available at the Office of the Privacy Commissioner of Canada website for you to use. The mission of the OPC is to protect and promote the privacy rights of individuals. Office of the Privacy Commissioner of Canada online services will give you tips on protecting your information, identity theft, social networks. Protecting your privacy online from scams, marketing, advertising, security, social networks. Deceptive and manipulative social engineering techniques. Find advice for individuals on how to set and adjust privacy settings. Proceed with caution. Avoid malicious software. Tips to keep your web cameras from being live streamed. Protection tips on social media. Online advertising. What is collected? Who does it? Tracking, consent, tracking prevention. Spam threats. Protection tips. Types of cookies. Privacy concerns. Privacy tools. On social media page, you will find tips on how to stay safe on social media, including privacy policies and settings, posting personal information, avoiding fraud, closing accounts. On Privacy and Kids, you will find tips for parents, teachers, and businesses. There is also an interactive tool, help to identify what to do and don'ts for online privacy, family activity. The best tool for online privacy success is a great plan that your family can discuss and use together. By talking about the ways you interact online and the potential impact these activities could have on your privacy, you can build a plan that keeps everyone safe and sound. With this tool, parents can take the time to learn how their children spend time online and then discuss ways to protect privacy while communicating, exploring, and learning. After choosing your child's online activities below, click on the statements that appear after you click Let's Start to choose your house rules. Once finished, you'll be able to print a list of do's and don'ts for your child when it comes to online privacy. The list will include room for you to add your own rules if you wish. You can then create new versions of the house rules for each family member. Your house rules can be posted next to your computer or on the refrigerator to help everyone work together to protect privacy.